Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Are you familiar with the frustration of a mind cluttered with noise, the agony of indecision, or the paralysis by analysis that accompanies overthinking? We've all experienced it, replaying conversations, anticipating outcomes, and trying to solve an endless stream of what-ifs in our heads. Today, we will confront this challenge head-on with practical Stoic strategies to conquer overthinking. If you're looking for ways to break this cycle and reclaim your mental space, make sure to hit the notification bell and subscribe. Now, let's dive in. Number 1. Visualize your overthinking as an external force. Overthinking can creep up on you like fog rolling in on a clear day. It begins as a single worry or idea, but quickly expands until it knocks you off your feet. It's a common struggle in today's fast-paced world, where information bombards us like hail in a storm. Our minds become crowded with thoughts of what if, what next, or what could have been. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher king, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This brings us to our first technique, seeing overthinking as an external force. This isn't about making an enemy of your thoughts, but recognizing that these thoughts are not the core of who you are. They are invaders of your peace. Imagine those invasive thoughts as clouds passing over a mountain. You are that mountain, majestic and immovable, standing firm as the clouds drift by. How does one fend off these invaders? Stoicism teaches us to observe without engagement. Imagine placing these thoughts in a bubble and watching them float away. This mental exercise doesn't just lessen their weight, it reinforces the understanding that thoughts are transient. They can only disrupt your peace if you hold on to them and give them power. Practicing this visualization creates a mental reflex that can help you detach and let these thoughts go before they build into a storm. As you get better at distinguishing yourself from this barrage of overthinking, it becomes simpler to see that you are not just a sum of your thoughts. This distinction acts as a shield, much like earplugs in a noisy crowd. It's a deliberate, continual effort that grows stronger with everyday application. When you notice yourself beginning to overthink, stop and picture the thought as noise, unnecessary and separate from who you are. By doing this, you're not only protecting yourself against overthinking, but also taking back your mental territory and peace one step at a time. Number 2. Take control by refocusing your energy. Have you ever caught yourself spiraling down a rabbit hole of what-ifs and doomsday scenarios, replaying the same worries over and over until you're mentally exhausted? It's like having a bunch of browser tabs open in your mind, each with a video playing on full blast, and you can't seem to hit pause. This mental multitasking is a hallmark of modern life, where the pressure to stay on top of everything can lead to a relentless cycle of overthinking. But just like a cluttered desk, a cluttered mind needs tidying up. Redirecting your mental energy isn't just about mental peace. It's about taking back control and quieting the endless noise of what could be so you can appreciate what is. Seneca, another Stoic sage, wove wisdom into words when he said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future." This sage advice serves as the cornerstone for taking control by refocusing your energy. To stop overthinking, start by grounding yourself in the now. Focus on a task, even something small, and channel your energy into completing it. This shift in focus pulls you out of the whirlpool of future what-ifs and anchors you in the present moment. The practical application is simple yet profound. Engage in an activity that requires your full attention. It could be as simple as organizing your workspace, going for a brisk walk, or losing yourself in a book. These acts require the now, not the tomorrow or the yesterday. By commanding your thoughts to align with your actions, you're not just distracting yourself, you're taking command of where your energy flows. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing thoughts, it's about managing them. By choosing where to invest your mental energy, you're practicing a form of mental discipline. The goal is not to avoid overthinking entirely. That's an unrealistic expectation. The goal is to recognize when your thoughts do not serve you and to have the tools to redirect them. It's like training a muscle. The more you exercise this power of refocusing, the stronger and more resilient your mind becomes. You'll find that the once overwhelming tide of overthinking can be tamed wave by wave with deliberate action and presence. Number 3, embrace impermanence and practice letting go. Let's face it, Our minds often get stuck in a loop, rehashing past events or fretting over the future. This is the playground of overthinking, where thoughts become sticky, lingering longer than welcome. It's a challenge that doesn't discriminate. It affects students worried about exams, professionals stressed about presentations, or anyone trying to fall asleep while their mind races at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Amidst this mental marathon, we can find solace in the words of Epictetus, who tells us, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive." While this quote might seem a bit heavy, it's really about the concept of impermanence, which is central to Stoicism. Everything changes, and this includes the thoughts that seem so persistent in our heads. When we overthink, we often cling to our thoughts as if they are permanent fixtures in our lives. Embracing impermanence means understanding that thoughts come and go. They are not eternal. This insight can be a beacon of hope when you feel ensnared by overthinking. Practically, embracing impermanence means cultivating a habit of letting go. It's a kind of mental decluttering where you consciously release the thoughts that don't serve you. You could do this by envisioning a river where each thought is a leaf on the water's surface, drifting away. Or maybe you see them as clouds, ever-changing, reshaping, and eventually moving on. This visualization not only provides immediate relief, but also instills a deeper understanding that the nature of thought is to change. Making this practice a part of your daily routine can transform your relationship with your thoughts. It's not about forcing them out, but rather allowing them to leave. Letting go isn't giving up, it's an act of courage. It means you're choosing to not let redundant thoughts rent space in your head rent-free. As you get better at this, you'll notice a newfound mental space, a quietness that was always there, just hidden beneath the noise of overthinking. Embracing impermanence isn't just a technique, it's a shift towards a more peaceful and present way of living. Number 4. Create a worry period. It's a common human experience to have worries nagging at the back of our minds, persistent like the hum of a refrigerator, always there, sometimes barely noticeable but unmistakably present. These worries can hijack our thoughts at any hour, often when we're trying to concentrate on work, enjoy time with friends, or even when we're trying to sleep. It's like our mind is a stage, and these concerns are the uninvited actors who won't leave. But consider this wisdom from the Stoic teacher Epictetus. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This quote may seem off track, but it's a bold reminder to prioritize our peace of mind over succumbing to worry, in fear of seeming complacent or naive. Creating a worry period is a strategic way to give these concerns their moment on the stage, but only during the encore, not the main act. Set aside a specific time each day, maybe 15 minutes in the afternoon, when you're allowed to give these worries your full attention. During this designated time, dive into your worries, scrutinizing them, understanding their roots, and maybe even jotting them down. What are you really worried about? How likely are these scenarios? What can you do about them? This focused session often reveals that many of our worries are like shadows, seemingly large but without much substance when you face them head on. This process also teaches your mind that there's a time and place for worry, and it's not all day every day. Then, when the worry period ends, you move on. You've given your worries their allotted time, and now you put them aside. By compartmentalizing in this manner, you can regain control over your day. The goal isn't to stop worrying completely, that's impossible, but by containing your worries, you reduce their impact on your life. This technique is like tidying your mental room, putting thoughts where they belong, and enjoying the tranquility of ordered space. You'll likely find that worries lose their power when they're not allowed to roam free, and life becomes a bit lighter, a bit more enjoyable. Number 5. Break down overwhelming thoughts into actionable steps. When overthinking strikes, it can feel like we're carrying the weight of an enormous boulder. The size of our worries seems to match the weight of the world, and we're pinned under the heavy cloud of our own thoughts. This sensation is not unique to us. It's a shared human condition exacerbated in a world that demands high performance in all areas of life: work, relationships, personal growth, and social status. The pressure to excel can paralyze us with indecision and fear. As a guiding light through this fog of overthinking, Marcus Aurelius once offered, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This profound insight forms the bedrock of our 5th technique: breaking down overwhelming thoughts into actionable steps. Imagine being confronted by a seemingly insurmountable problem. Our minds often zoom out, seeing the entire daunting landscape, which leads to paralysis by analysis. Instead, Marcus Aurelius teaches us to zero in on the obstacle itself, dissecting it into manageable parts. Picture your overwhelming thought as a large puzzle. You wouldn't attempt to solve the whole puzzle at once. You'd start with the corners, then the edges, gradually working your way inward. Begin by identifying the specific aspect of your thought or worry that you can tackle first. Is it a project at work that feels too vast? Break it down. What's the first step? Maybe it's writing an outline or gathering resources. Is it a personal goal that seems out of reach? What's one action you can take today that moves you closer? By dissecting your worries into bite-sized pieces, you transform overwhelming thoughts into a series of achievable tasks. Each small step you take gives you a sense of accomplishment, building momentum and confidence. This method not only reduces the immediate burden, but also creates a proactive mindset. You shift from feeling like a victim of your thoughts to becoming the orchestrator of your actions. Through this process, you'll find that even the most daunting problems can be managed step by step. You're not trying to climb the mountain in a single leap, but making steady progress, one step at a time, transforming what once felt like an obstacle into a pathway forward. And there you have it, 5 powerful Stoic strategies to conquer overthinking and reclaim your peace of mind. Remember, overthinking is not an enemy to be defeated, but a force to be managed and understood. By visualizing your overthinking as an external force, refocusing your energy, embracing impermanence, creating a worry period, and breaking down overwhelming thoughts into actionable steps, you're not just quieting the noise but transforming your mental landscape. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on more insights and practical tips to live a more serene and empowered life. We'd love to hear from you. What techniques do you use to manage overthinking? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and remember, you have the power over your mind, not outside events. Until next time, stay present, stay strong, and keep moving forward.